What's up, watchers? Will here with a review of the new DC animated adaptation of The Killing Joke. Let me admit, unfortunately, I have not read the original story, so I have to review it on its merits alone as a film, rather than an adaptation of the classic 1988 story. So, to kind of summarize the plot, the film follows two main characters, mostly Barbara Gordon, reprised by Tara Strong, and the Madman himself, the Joker, as reprised by Mark Hamill. Barbara has been active as Batgirl during her nighttime and assisting Batman as a growing crime syndicate starts to rise up in Gotham. All the while, the Joker has managed to worm his way out of Gotham police custody and used a vast amount of connections, shall we say, to have access to a theme park. The film moves between the familiar backstory of the Joker, as known in the graphic novel, as well as juxtaposing what we see on screen. We get a glimpse of the man before the madness, and then we see just what one bad day can do to the most unsuspecting person. The story pays homage to the comic with certain iconic moments from the story, as well as other renditions of characters here in it. So there are key panels from the book itself that are recreated and will be recognized by real strong fans or people familiar with the story, as well as some major changes, and we'll get to that in a second. So the voice acting here reunites a lot of the cast from the Batman 90s animated series. Seeing as this film was produced by Bruce Timm, that kind of makes sense. They're all fan favorites. And, they do a pretty good job. They all do very well. The Joker has his famous Hamill sound to it, with the great laugh. He's great. Barbara is once again played by Miss Strong. Not the first one to play her, but the second one. And still, I really enjoyed her performance. It's nice to see Tara Strong doing a more mature character than we're accustomed to her seeing. She's usually playing children, but this is a much more mature, kind of understanding college-age Batgirl than we kind of saw before. And we get to see that nice dynamic between Barbara and Commissioner Gordon themselves and kind of how that evolves throughout the film. Conroy's performance, as he is Batman once more, it was the cold, fear-inducing Batman that we know and love, but I'm not sure if it was the editing or sound mixing or something, but something literally sounded off in his performance. It seemed a little high-pitched or something. It didn't sound the same as before. I don't know. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. But overall, it wasn't bad. He still did a very, very good job in his role. So, main characters aside, I think Bruce Timm did a very good job handling the tone for this film. This is a very dark piece from a psychological perspective. There are a lot of moments I feel that were downright fit that darkness, and there were some that were just straight up disturbing. That really aided and was helped by the performances from the actors themselves. Even for an animated film, it was very authentic. There were some very creepy vibes that happened, and even some sympathetic moments here and there for some characters. I don't understand fully why the film warranted a full R rating, because to me personally it seemed like more of a hard PG-13, but I guess it was R due to the content, and they may have wanted to play it on the safe side. The art style itself, I think it looked fine. Many people may not agree with it, but then again, it's not a full-blown adaptation of the Killing Joke story itself, and it may not be accurate aside from a couple iconic moments and panels. There are a few Easter eggs here and there with some photos of the Joker that I noticed in the background. But the animation here is kind of a mix of Bruce Timm's style as well as a style of a different artist. It's not fully that style held by the original artist of The Killing Joke. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But I do have to comment that there is one very specific key change that may have been spoiled for some people. It was a scene that was added in. I'm not going to say what it was, but it may divide the audience on this film. It was very shocking to me when I saw it at first, but I think it's an interesting move. It very much changes the dynamic between two characters in the story than something we've seen before. And it's something that we kind of don't really like to think about or imagine, but I think it can open the door to some interesting character analyses down the road. Overall, as someone who's not the biggest Batman or Joker fan, but I do respect the characters and their legacies, I really enjoyed this film. It made me actually really like the Joker and the Batman, and it took a different path when it comes to narration by having Barbara be not only half the focus for the film, but be the main narrator for the story itself, aside from, Joker scene. It gave a sense of humanity to the Joker that I haven't really seen before, and it does actually really make me want to go out and read The Killing Joke itself. I've had the opportunity to purchase it before, but haven't gotten around to it. But it really makes me want to read the story itself, just to kind of compare and contrast. But it also opened my eyes to the real duality between Bruce and the Joker that everyone talks about, and the whole belief that we're doomed to have this fight forever. It's not a perfect adaptation from what I can tell, from my slight knowledge of The Killing Joke. The art style is not the same as the book, and the film's not 100% Joker-centric like even I thought it would be. But that may weaken it in some people's eyes, and even for die-hard Joker fans that were expecting a lot more. And some of those changes that we previously mentioned may, give people a real why the fuck reaction to it. But for me, I'd purchase it. It's definitely an animated film I really enjoyed, and I really do enjoy it when it comes to DC's animated movies. It's definitely in my top 3. So if you don't want to go out and all out purchase it, I'd at least give it a rental or a watch if you can find it somewhere. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a B+ range. I really like this movie. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Hybrid Network. I'm Will. I'm out.